Look, the VA claims process is confusing, slow, and full of traps that can cost you years of back pay. And I've seen too many veterans learn these lessons the hard way. So today, we're breaking down the top 5 mistakes that veterans make on their first claim, and more importantly, how you can avoid them so you don't get stuck fighting the same battle twice. Number 3 is something that most veterans overlook, and it's costing you tens of thousands over your lifetime. Number 2 is something that most veterans just don't do, and you're making it harder on yourself, making it harder for you to get to that prized 100 club. But as always, do me a favor, help me help you. I realize you can just skip to the end, find out what the 5 things are, and move on with your day. But the real meat of helping me help you is what is being said, not what is written. So give me 15 minutes or less, and I'll give you enough information to put you closer to or in that 100 club. I'm Mr. X. I'm the guy behind the guy, giving you all the information you want to know and need to know about the VA claims process. And this is the VA Top 5. Mistake number 5, waiting too long to file. Too many veterans think, I'll wait until I'm out, or I'll gather more evidence first. Let me tell you, that's a bad move. Look, I get it. It's a procrastination thing of sorts. Along the same or similar lines as, yeah, I'm going to start my diet, or go to the gym, or take out the trash. It's always in 5 minutes, or tomorrow, or next week. Okay? It's always at a later time. The sooner you file, the sooner the VA starts the clock on your effective date. That date decides how much back pay you could get. And if you wait even a few months, that's potentially thousands of dollars gone. Dollars that can't be recouped or earned back. They're just gone. Period. So, file early and protect your effective date. You can always submit more evidence later. You can always submit more evidence after you've submitted your claim and before it's decided. You filed a claim on May 1st, okay? And if your claim has still not been decided by July and you think that, hey, I'd really like to submit this, submit it. Submit it right then and there, because until that rating decision is complete, okay, then they're going to review all of the evidence in your record, okay? You can always submit more evidence later, but you cannot go back in time. So essentially, file early and adjust later if needed. Mistake number 4, not describing your symptoms clearly. If your claim just says back pain or anxiety, that tells the VA nothing. You need to describe how it affects your daily life, how often, how bad, and what it stops you from doing. Submit that in a separate document. Put it in a VA Form 21-4138 Statement in Support of Claim. If you can't figure out how to do that, then just submit it on a separate document. You can even write it out in a letter form. Dear VA. Now, joking, of course, with the letter form there a little bit, but you can write it out. It's that simple. Okay? Don't just say my knee hurts. Say, I can't kneel to tie my boots on. I limp after standing for 10 minutes, and my knee locks up twice a day. That's what the examiner and the raters are looking for. And the more descriptive you can be about those symptoms, the better. Hey, my knee hurts after standing for longer than 10 minutes. It reduces the range of motion, okay? They're looking for that level of specificity. So, be specific. They want to know function over feelings. Think of it like Yelp for your injuries. The VA doesn't care that you didn't like it. They care how bad the experience was. And here's a pro tip for you. When describing that experience and how bad it was, talk about pain for a moment, but move past it. Talk about everything else but pain. Pain they understand. Pain they almost concede. Just right up front. But talk about every other symptom, and the more specific, the better. Mistake number 3, forgetting secondary conditions. Look, this one's huge. Most veterans only claim the primary main disability or injury, and they forget about everything that developed because of it. For example, bad back causing sciatica. Now that's a secondary condition. If you have PTSD causing sleep apnea or gastroesophageal reflux disease, those are secondary. Knee pain, that could lead to hip pain, ankle pain, back pain. Okay, those are all secondary. Key here is secondary conditions equal hidden ratings. Each secondary claim can add percentages or push you closer to that 100 club. Always ask, what else did this condition cause? Google it. Ask your favorite AI program if that's your thing. And just so you know, all of the secondary conditions, when added up, can be higher than the primary issue. And in many cases, they are. So by not expanding on the primary condition and looking for and considering all other possible disabilities associated with your main one, you're essentially leaving money on the table. Thousands, tens of thousands over a lifetime. Look for those secondary conditions. Mistake number 2, not reading the VA's own rating criteria. The VA literally publishes the rulebook for how they rate every condition, and most veterans never look at it. If you don't know what the VA is looking for, then how can you prove it? For example, back pain isn't just rated on how much it hurts. It's rated on how far you can bend forward. Yeah, that's right. If you can't bend past 30 degrees, you could be rated at 40%. The VA loves numbers, not feelings. So, know the rules and speak their language. I'll put a link to 38 CFR Part 4 below. On the left-hand side, if you click on it, it'll show a table of contents. If you scroll down, starting at 4.40, it starts with the musculoskeletal disabilities. This is where all your joints and muscles are. Then it goes to organs of special sense, be it your vision or your hearing, then infectious diseases, and so on. Okay? The list goes on and on from there. The conditions you are applying for, go there and look to determine how that disability will be evaluated. By not doing so, could be the difference between a 10% rating for your lower back and a 40% rating. And mistake number 1 is not getting help or a second set of eyes. Going solo can be a huge mistake. Listen, the VA system is designed to be confusing. VSOs, accredited reps, and attorneys all exist for a reason. Don't let pride or frustration cost you benefits, and more importantly, I would do your homework here. Some of these services are free, some are very expensive. And I've seen both. It doesn't matter if they were free or expensive, but ultimately, some of them, they just don't know what the hell they're talking about. And listen, I'm not asking you to 100% believe me either. There's no shortage of YouTube videos out there talking about the process. Check many of them out. But I'm going to caution you as well. Don't just blindly follow the one who's giving you all the answers you want to hear, because in the end, it may do more harm than good. A good rep knows how to phrase your claim, what forms to use, and how to push back when the VA gets it wrong. Sadly, I've also seen it the other way, where the rep or the attorney will push for an increased rating or an earlier effective date because that's how they get paid. And then in the end, it ends up in a reduction or a proposal to sever due to that. Okay? So I'm going to caution you on this. But getting help and getting that second set of eyes is huge. So don't go solo, get help. You fought hard in service. Don't fight this battle alone too. I'm here to answer any questions, concerns, doubts, or issues you may have, but I'm also human and could get it wrong as well. So as mentioned, do your homework, get a few opinions, and figure out what works best for you. Always, as a cautionary tip, I would be leery of the one who's blowing smoke. Okay? The one who's playing long shots, because in the end, they're more concerned with getting paid instead of helping you out. All right. If you have stuck with me thus far, here's a bonus tip for you. Always keep copies of everything you submit. If the VA loses something, and trust me, they do, you'll have proof it was submitted. A missing record can delay your claim for months. So, get a folder in your filing cabinet, put a folder in your desktop about all things submitted to the VA. Save everything. All right. So, those are the top 5 mistakes veterans make on their first claim. Avoid these traps. You want to file early. Describe your symptoms clearly. Claim secondary conditions. Read the VA playbook and get help from someone who knows the system. Now, do me a favor. If you watch this video and feel like I gave you enough information to where your next claim will be at least 20% better, then you owe me a thumbs up. All right? Drop me a comment. What was your biggest VA claim mistake? Or what mistake do you wish you could go back and fix? Okay, I'm curious what they are. Okay? The information, you give could help the next person down the road. And it doesn't hurt your benefits, doesn't hurt anything. You're just helping a fellow brother or sister out. All right? In the end, thank you for being here. Please subscribe for more no fluff VA claim tips broken down with a little humor and some honesty. I'm Mr. X. This is the VA Top 5.